Hey guys, Hitman89 here. I hope you're doing great. Last time we had the best co-op games to play in 2023. Don't forget to check it out if you missed it. And today we're gonna be diving into Saints Row. It's been a year since it launched on PC and consoles, and the amount of bugs and glitches it had was straight up disrespectful. I mean, some of those were funny, but the game-breaking ones that forced you to start over were really annoying. It's like no one tested this game before releasing it. Speaking of release, now that the game finally released on Steam, I thought I'd review it again with all the updates and see if the devs managed to turn things around. Is Saints Row good now? Let's find out.
Let's get this shit started.
Yeah, don't get too excited, because the first thing I noticed is how many bugs were fixed, and that's great. The second thing I noticed though, the game is still shitty. And that's gonna be it for this review. Don't forget to leave a like if you found it. Okay, in all seriousness now, there used to be a bug like every 5 minutes, and that's not even an exaggeration. A year later, I came across a minor bug every 30 minutes or so. Keep in mind cars still appear out of nowhere, then disappear, and during cutscenes you might notice some minor stuff like guns glitching. You can now save with cheats on, and they even added a couple of new districts. Now in terms of graphics, I thought the game already looked outdated back in 2022. Plus I recently played GTA 5 on Series X, and the graphics on that 10-year-old game are way better than this. Saints Row used to run like shit, and if you're on PC, the system requirements are super high for no reason. I mean, there is a very logical reason. They just didn't optimize the game. A 3080 Ti? For this?
You gotta be kidding me.
Although you'll still experience some frame rate dips here and there, compared to what we got last year, it's like day and night. Fun fact, I had to stop playing Baldur's Gate 3 to make this review, so I don't know if you realize how much I'm sacrificing for you guys. So I played Saints Row on PS5, it now has adaptive trigger support, but for some reason, only for motorcycles and guns. Speaking of guns, the gunplay sucks, and that's a bummer, cause you'll spend 99% of the time shooting people in the face, if you manage to aim properly. Yeah, aiming feels stiff and weird. Anyway, on this reboot, you have to build your criminal empire from the ground up. In order to do that, you'll have to rob some places, then use the money to slowly build a bunch of criminal ventures that generate a certain amount of income per hour, and also unlock side missions that you can do to make more money. You won't be doing that on your own though, cause you can count on your super memorable friends. I'm talking about Nerd Chris Rock and a chick named Nina. Oh, and the shirtless dude, I almost forgot about him. The only way I could think of to make dialogues a little more bearable is by making a goofy ass looking character with a high pitched voice.
So, is this how it's gonna be every time we have to pay rent?
I thought that went great.
Let me know if you found a better solution, other than skipping the shit out of every cutscene, obviously. Since we mentioned cutscenes, you know those seamless transitions from gameplay to cutscenes like on God of War or Red Dead Redemption 2? Yeah? You better forget about those, cause here, the game just fades to black for a couple of seconds and then a cutscene plays. Very immersive. Just like Santo Ileso, which seems like a nice change of scenery from the previous games, but somehow, even the NPCs in this game knew this shit sucked. They must have packed their shit and left, cause the streets are empty. Which reminds me of the audio balancing, cause you'll notice that during missions, there are plenty of times where there is no music at all, and it just feels a little too quiet. Another thing that's too quiet is vehicle engines, but in this case, that's probably a good thing considering how repetitive and horrible they sound. Speaking of horrible, who wrote this shit?
Crate paper. Do we have enough?
It's crepe paper with a P.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Wow, somebody give these guys an Oscar. I want to talk about the soundtrack for a second. Apart from the DMX track and a couple of other good ones, the rest is meh. Plus the cringe dialogue ruins those songs whenever they come up during a mission anyway. Seriously, it's like the dialogue lines were written by some shitty improv guys who roll with whatever the first person says, no matter how ridiculous and unfunny it is. Fuck you! Saints Row can be pretty fun at first. The finishing moves and special skills are good. Being able to hop on your car roof and shoot people or just use the wingsuit to fly around are nice additions. But after playing the game for about an hour, you'll realize the main story missions mostly consist of killing everyone, then escaping while blowing up the vehicles that are chasing you. Side missions/side hustles have way more diversity, but they're not really fun. I mean, who thought driving a truck full of nuclear waste from point A to point B was fun? All you have to do is avoid hitting too much stuff. Yay! I know, right? That being said, I played plenty of boring-ass games that felt like a chore, and despite what a lot of people say, this isn't one of them. I beat the game within 10 hours, I've also started a new game to try out some more stuff for the purpose of this review, and I had fun. But if this was a 30-hour game, I would probably hang myself halfway through. On this positive note, let's move on to the verdict. Should you get the Steam version day one? Hell no! Because even though it's way less buggy, it runs better than before and it can be fun at times, the Saints Row Reboot is not a good game. In my opinion, it's average at best, and that's why I'ma give it a 5 out of 10. If you could get the game for like 10 bucks, maybe 15 tops, then why not? Otherwise, you're better off spending that money on another game. Shout out to buygames.ps who always provide me with all the games I need to make these videos for you guys. You'll find their link in the description. Anyway, I hope you found this review helpful. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you did. I drop a new video every week, so please subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's been Hitman89. See you guys very soon.
For the pay stub or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh. Fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Famous for the way up. Play the game, bruh.